Your mind is like a wild monkey, swinging from branch to branch, never resting. Right now, as you read this, notice how many thoughts are racing through your head. The grocery list, tomorrow's meeting, that conversation from yesterday. This is what Buddhists call the monkey mind, and it's stealing your peace. Ancient Buddhist masters discovered something profound. The more you chase thoughts, the more chaotic they become. Imagine trying to catch that monkey by running after it through the forest. Exhausting, right? Yet this is exactly what we do every day with our minds. The first hack is counterintuitive. Stop trying to control your thoughts. Instead of fighting the monkey, become the tree it swings from. When you observe thoughts without judgment, something magical happens. They begin to slow down naturally. Here's how to practice this immediately. Close your eyes and count your breaths from 1 to 10. When a thought appears, and it will, simply notice it like watching a cloud pass by. Don't judge it as good or bad. Just acknowledge, thinking, and return to counting. If you lose count, start again at 1. This isn't about achieving perfect silence. Even experienced monks have busy minds. The difference is, they don't identify with every thought that appears. They've learned to watch the monkey without becoming the monkey. The Buddha taught that suffering comes from our attachment to thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. When you stop feeding the monkey with your attention, it naturally becomes calmer. This simple shift, from participant to observer, is your first step toward unshakable inner peace. Practice this for just 5 minutes daily, and you'll notice the chaos beginning to settle. Your mind will thank you. Between stimulus and response lies a sacred space. In that space lies your power to choose your response. This is the second Buddhist hack, the sacred pause. Most people live in reaction mode. Phone buzzes, immediate check. Someone cuts you off in traffic, instant anger. Boss sends a demanding email, immediate stress response. You're like a pinball, bouncing from one reaction to another, never truly in control. Buddhist monks discovered that true freedom exists in the gap between what happens and how you respond. This pause isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about creating space for wisdom to emerge. Here's the practice. When something triggers you today, take 3 conscious breaths before responding. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your lungs. In those few seconds, ask yourself, what response would serve me best right now? This pause activates your prefrontal cortex, the wise, rational part of your brain, instead of your amygdala, which triggers fight or flight responses. Neuroscience confirms what monks have known for centuries. A brief pause literally changes your brain chemistry. Start small. Practice the sacred pause with minor irritations. A slow internet connection, a long line at the store, a delayed train. These everyday moments become your training ground for bigger challenges. The Buddha said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." Sometimes that one word is silence, the silence of the sacred pause. In this silence, you reclaim your power to choose peace over reactivity, wisdom over impulse. Your responses become responses, not reactions. And in that transformation, you find unshakable calm. Everything changes. Everything passes. This fundamental truth is your third Buddhist hack for mental peace. Embracing impermanence. Right now, you're experiencing something. Perhaps stress, anxiety, or overwhelm. Your mind tells you this feeling will last forever, that you'll never escape this mental chaos. But here's what the Buddha discovered 2,500 years ago. This too shall pass. Impermanence isn't just philosophy. It's practical medicine for the mind. When you truly understand that all experiences are temporary, you stop clinging so tightly to both pleasure and pain. This releases enormous mental energy that was previously trapped in resistance. Try this meditation. Sit quietly and bring to mind your current biggest worry. Feel it fully. The weight, the tension, the mental noise. Now remember a worry you had exactly 1 year ago. Can you even recall what kept you awake at night? Most likely, it has completely dissolved. This is impermanence in action. That urgent crisis that consumed your thoughts, gone. The relationship drama that felt earth-shattering, resolved or irrelevant. The work deadline that created such stress, completed and forgotten. Now apply this wisdom to your current situation. Whatever mental chaos you're experiencing right now is already changing. Like clouds passing through an empty sky, thoughts and emotions arise and dissolve naturally when you stop feeding them with resistance. The practice is simple. When overwhelmed, remind yourself, this is impermanent, and breathe. Don't try to make it go away. That's still clinging. Simply acknowledge its temporary nature. This hack transforms your relationship with difficulty. Instead of drowning in problems, you learn to surf them, knowing each wave will eventually reach the shore and dissolve back into the ocean of awareness. Your breath is always with you, yet you rarely notice it. This oversight costs you peace. The fourth Buddhist hack transforms your breath into an anchor of stillness that grounds you no matter how chaotic life becomes. Monks have used breath meditation for millennia because breathing is the bridge between conscious and unconscious, voluntary and involuntary, mind and body. When your thoughts spiral out of control, your breath remains steady and available, if you remember to use it. The technique is deceptively simple. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 6 counts. The longer exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, triggering your body's natural relaxation response. This isn't mystical. It's biology working in your favor. But here's the deeper secret. You're not just controlling your breath. You're training your attention. Each time you return focus to your breathing, you strengthen your mental muscle of concentration. This muscle serves you in every life situation, requiring focus and calm. Practice the 4-4-6 breath pattern right now. Notice how your mind immediately begins to settle. This happens because focused breathing interrupts the stress cycle and redirects your nervous system toward peace. The beauty of this hack is its portability. Stuck in traffic? Use your breath anchor. Difficult conversation approaching? 3 mindful breaths first. Overwhelmed at work? Step away and breathe consciously for 60 seconds. Ancient texts describe the breath as the vehicle of the soul. When you learn to ride this vehicle skillfully, you can navigate any storm with grace. Your breath becomes your portable meditation cushion, available 24 hours a day. No special equipment needed. No perfect conditions required. Just you, your breath, and the choice to return home to stillness. You are not your thoughts. This revelation is the 5th Buddhist hack that shatters the illusion keeping you trapped in mental chaos, discovering your observer self. Most people believe they are their thoughts. I'm anxious, I'm angry, I'm confused. But Buddhism reveals a profound truth. There's a part of you that watches these thoughts arise and pass away. This watching awareness is your true self, calm, unshakable, and always present. Imagine sitting by a river, watching leaves float by. You don't jump into the water to chase every leaf. You simply observe from the bank. Your thoughts are like those leaves, temporary visitors in the stream of consciousness. Your observer self is the riverbank, stable, unchanging, peaceful. Here's how to access this deeper identity. Throughout your day, practice saying, I notice I'm having the thought that, instead of, I am. For example, I notice I'm having the thought that this situation is overwhelming, rather than, I am overwhelmed. This simple language shift creates space between you and your mental content. You begin to realize that thoughts are events happening within awareness, not your fundamental identity. This space is where freedom lives. The observer self doesn't judge thoughts as good or bad. It simply witnesses with compassionate detachment. When you operate from this perspective, even intense emotions lose their grip because you're no longer completely identified with them. Buddhist masters call this stepping back into awareness. It's like moving from being an actor caught up in the drama to becoming the director who sees the whole play with clarity and perspective. This observer self is always available. It's the part of you reading these words right now, the awareness that remains constant, while thoughts and feelings constantly change. What you resist persists. What you accept transforms. This is the 6th Buddhist hack, the practice of non-resistance that dissolves mental suffering at its root. Your mind creates chaos through one primary mechanism: fighting what is. You resist the traffic jam, the difficult person, the unexpected change, the uncomfortable emotion. This resistance is like trying to stop a river with your bare hands, exhausting and futile. Buddhism teaches a revolutionary approach. Stop fighting the river and learn to flow with it. This doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting harmful situations. It means releasing the mental struggle that amplifies every difficulty. Here's the practice. When you notice resistance arising, pause and ask, "What am I fighting right now?" Often, you'll discover you're not just dealing with the actual situation. You're battling your thoughts about the situation, your judgments about how things should be different. Try this experiment. Think of something currently frustrating you. Notice the tension in your body, the mental arguments, the energy spent wishing things were different. Now take a deep breath and say, "This is what's happening right now, and I can work with this." Feel the shift? The situation hasn't changed, but your relationship to it has transformed. You've moved from victim to participant, from resistance to response. Non-resistance isn't surrender, it's strategic. When you stop wasting energy fighting reality, you have more resources available for skillful action. Like a martial artist who redirects an opponent's force rather than meeting it head-on, you learn to work with life's challenges rather than against them. The Buddha taught that suffering equals pain times resistance. Reduce resistance to 0, and even difficult experiences become workable. Your day is a series of transitions, yet you rarely notice them. This blindness creates accumulated stress. The 7th Buddhist hack transforms these invisible moments into opportunities for mindful reset. Most people rush from activity to activity without pause. Email to meeting to lunch to phone call to commute. Each transition carries residual energy from the previous activity, creating mental clutter that builds throughout the day until you feel overwhelmed without knowing why. Buddhist monks understood that transitions are sacred thresholds. They developed practices to consciously close one experience before opening to the next. This prevents emotional and mental residue from accumulating. Here's your transition practice. Before moving from one activity to another, take 3 conscious breaths. During the first breath, acknowledge what you're completing. During the second breath, release any tension or mental residue. During the third breath, set an intention for what comes next. For example, before leaving work, breathe and acknowledge the day's efforts. Breathe and release work stress. Breathe and set an intention to be present with your family. This simple ritual creates a clean slate for each new experience. Apply this to micro-transitions too. Before answering the phone, before opening your laptop, before entering a room. These tiny pauses accumulate into significant peace throughout your day. The practice works because it honors the natural rhythm of completion and beginning that governs all life. Just as day transitions to night and seasons change, your activities need conscious closure to maintain mental clarity. Without mindful transitions, your day becomes one long, blurred experience of accumulated stress. With them, each moment becomes fresh. Each activity receives your full presence, and chaos transforms into flow. Knowledge without practice is merely entertainment. These 7 Buddhist hacks become transformative only through consistent application. This final chapter reveals the integration path that embeds these practices into your daily life. Start with 1 hack for 1 week. Don't try to master all 7 simultaneously. This leads to overwhelm and abandonment. Choose the practice that resonates most strongly and commit to it fully for 7 days. Notice the subtle shifts in your mental landscape. Week 1 might be the sacred pause. Every time you feel triggered, take 3 breaths before responding. Week 2, could focus on impermanence meditation, reminding yourself, this too shall pass, during difficult moments. Week 3 might emphasize breath anchoring during stressful situations. The key is consistency over intensity. 5 minutes of daily practice creates more transformation than sporadic hour-long sessions. Your nervous system learns through repetition, not force. Create environmental cues to support your practice. Set phone reminders for transition breathing. Place sticky notes with "Observe, don't absorb" on your computer. Use daily activities like washing dishes or walking as mindfulness triggers. Track your progress simply. Notice when you catch yourself before reacting. Celebrate moments when you remember to breathe consciously. Acknowledge when you observe thoughts without being swept away by them. After 8 weeks of cycling through these practices, you'll have a complete toolkit for mental peace. More importantly, you'll have developed the meta skill of mindful awareness that makes all other practices possible. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all mental activity or achieve permanent bliss. It's to develop a different relationship with your mind, one characterized by space, choice, and peace rather than reactivity and chaos. Your journey to unshakable calm begins with the next breath you take consciously.